Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. It is time to start planning all my summer reading and I am so excited because summer's finally coming and I have been ready for summer for like months now. So I'm very excited to be talking about my summer TBR. I have to say, these past couple of months have been giving with the book releases. So I have a lot of new book releases that are coming out or have already come out, and I have physical books on my TBR that are also priorities on my summer TBR. So I'm so excited to be talking about all of my summer reads, but these are the books that I definitely want to try and knock out this summer because either they are giving summer vibes or they're romances or thrillers. I have to tell you, 99% of the stack is romance or thrillers, mainly because I don't know what it is about summer, but I absolutely love reading romances and thrillers / horror in summer. Those are just the vibes. I want a spooky summer thriller or a spooky summer horror, or I want a cute summer romance. That's it. I don't think I even look at fantasy in the summer. So this is my list. Like I said, it's mainly romances and thrillers. I think there's one fantasy that comes out in like August that I have my eye on, but aside from that, I think everything is strictly romance or thriller / horror. So let's get into it because we got a lot of books to talk about and I am so excited for each and every one. So the first two books, I'm going to group them together because they are part of a series. I have Lost and Lassoed and Wild and Wrangled. These two books have been on my TBR and I've been waiting until the summer so that I can knock them off, and I'm so excited because I've heard a lot of great things, mainly about Wild and Wrangled. I am very excited for this. A lot of people have been saying that it's so good, so I'm definitely excited to continue this series. It's such a cute cowboy romance setting vibe, and I feel like that always gives summer vibes. So I'm very excited to read these two books in the summer and finish a series because these are the last two books in this series. So the next book we have is Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I have heard so many great things about this book, but I just have not yet picked it up. This is like a thriller mystery. I don't think it's necessarily scary. I'm honestly not even sure what this is about, which I honestly love about thrillers because I love the suspense of not knowing what this book is going to be about, and then you start seeing twists and turns and everything just gets kind of crazy. But it does say, one dark evening on New York City's Upper West Side, two strangers meet by chance. Oh, this one gets me. It says, if you kill for me, I'll kill for you. Things are about to get crazy in this, I already know, so I'm very excited. The next one we have is Incidents Around the House. This one I have been waiting for the right time to pick up. I've had this since last year when everybody was talking about it, everybody was raving about it, and I just knew I needed to read this because this is giving spooky. So I'm very excited to get to this one. I don't know what it is. I just love being spooked in the summer. So I'm very excited about this one. I do think this one has to do with more supernatural spooky. It says that this is a chilling horror novel about a haunting told from the perspective of a young girl whose troubled family is targeted by an entity she calls Other Mommy. This is giving Coraline. Like, are we joking? Other Mother? So, I don't know. This sounds like it's going to be really good. I'm interested to see how this is going to read because if we are going to be in a perspective of a child, that sounds really interesting. I'm a sucker for a spooky kid, so if this kid is going to start being creepy, I'm going to eat this up. But I'm super excited for this one. The next book I have is Picking Daisies on Sundays. I picked this one up because when I tell you that when I scroll through Pinterest or TikTok or Instagram, I see this book every single time. This book pops up more than I think any book I have ever seen pop up on my feed. So this was just an influential buy. I had to buy this because everybody's talking about it. I don't know what this is about aside from the fact that it is a little romance, and I'm gonna keep it that way because I love going into books blind. But just know that I'm ready for a cutesy little romance, and I've heard a lot of great things about this, so I'm very excited, and I can't wait to read it. The next book we have is Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. This book was actually a book I picked up when I was at Barnes & Noble, just kind of like browsing the shelves, and I saw it and I just decided to pick it up. Essentially, this one is following Sally, who was adopted when she was really young, and she doesn't really have any memories about her like past life. and now she's 42, and all of a sudden her past is starting to come up again, and she's starting to realize that people know things about her that she doesn't even know. She's in the news, like things are starting to come up, and now she's going to be figuring out who she is. And I don't know, something about this sounded very interesting when I picked it up, so I just knew I had to get to it. And perfect time for me to read it is in the summertime when I want a fast-paced, twisty thriller. So I do hope that this is going to be a good one. The next book we have is a book that has been on my TBR for like quite a bit. And honestly, if I do not get to it this year and this summer specifically, I really don't think I'm going to actually read it ever because it's just been sitting on my TBR for so long. So the next one I have is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I feel like Lauren Asher books have been very hit or miss for me. And one reason that I've been putting it off for so long is because this book is almost 520 pages. I don't know if it's just me, but why a romance does not need to be over 500 pages long. And that's been putting me off because I'm sorry, I just don't have the energy to put in 500 pages to a romance. A romance should be quick, cute, fun, like easy to read. Like this is hefty. So I don't know, we'll see. I am putting it on my TBR because I really do want to get to it. I do think this one's another billionaire. Yeah, it says that this is the Lakefront Billionaires. So we'll see, but I'm putting this on my TBR for the summer because if I do not get to it in the summer, I really just don't know if I will ever get to it, and I'll probably unhaul it. So we'll see. The next book I have is Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. This was a book I actually picked up in my Visiting Chicago Bookstores vlog, and I'm really excited to read this. This is like a space thriller horror. It's giving like Alien versus Predator kind of like vibes, and I think this is going to eat. I don't think I've ever read a space thriller horror, so I'm really excited to actually try this kind of trope. Can I call it a trope? I think it's a trope. I don't know. Either way, I'm really excited to get into this. I think the whole space spooky vibe is going to be really good. The next book we have is Run by Blake Crouch. You guys already know I love Blake Crouch, love all of his books, and this is another one that I'm super excited to get to. I think this one's following like a pandemic. Oh, an epidemic. I just already know this is going to be high stakes. I already know that this is going to be a ride, and I'm very excited. Honestly, Blake Crouch does really great at combining sci-fi and thriller vibes, and I love his books. So when I saw this one, I knew I had to have it because he's one of my favorite authors. So I'm very excited for this one. The next book I have is The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier. Jennifer Hillier books always hit. I have read 3 of her books so far, and I absolutely love them. She is not afraid to test certain topics. She can get dark really fast, and I've heard phenomenal things about this one, so I already knew I had to pick it up. I have no idea what this is about, none, but I picked it up simply because I've heard so many great things about it, and honestly, I just love her writing. She just does thriller, psychological thrillers so well. So I just know this is going to be really good, and I'm very excited. It does say, in this skillfully penned tale of murder and cover-up that will keep readers enthralled until the powerful finish, family secrets and a serial killer from the past converge. I love a serial killer. I love mystery. I love family drama. This is going to be really good. The next book I have is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. This is another book that I bought because Ashley Winstead books have in the past done so well for me. I do know she has tested also writing romance books. I've only read one of her romance books. It wasn't my favorite. I definitely like her thrillers better. So when I found out she was releasing another one, I obviously had to pick it up. This one did come out this year, and I'm very excited. This is another book. I have no idea what it's about. You will notice that there's a trend. I usually don't know what my books are about, which I prefer. I like going into my books blind. But it says, the truth will set her free, bury her. It's the most famous crime in modern history, and only she knows the true story. I have heard people talk about this, and apparently it's following a true crime case that actually did happen, but fiction. And I have heard a lot of people didn't really like that she did that because I think the case that it's supposed to be influenced by is not solved or something. I'm not very versed on the whole issues or what case, but I have heard a lot of people say that that was something they didn't really like about it. So I am very curious because I am a true crime girly. I am really interested to see what case this parallels to because I'm not sure, but I will be interested to see what my thoughts are on this. The next book I have is Funny Story by Emily Henry. If you know me, Emily Henry does not have a great track record with me. I think for the most part, her books are always like a 3-star, but I did read Happy Place and that one I ate up. I don't know if it was the time I read it or what the circumstances were, but Happy Place, I loved it. I thought that one was probably her best book. I know other people might not agree, but those are just my thoughts. But I do not buy Emily Henry books until they come out in paperback. So I have this one, and of course, in Emily Henry true fashion, this is going to be a summer read because it's Emily Henry. So this is on my TBR. The only thing I really know that I've heard a lot about this one is that it gives New Girl vibes, or at least something about the main character guy gives off New Girl vibes or something. I don't know. I didn't really watch New Girl, but I think this is about 2 people who decide to move in together because their significant others decided to be with each other or something like that. I could be so wrong. I have no idea, but it's an Emily Henry book, so of course it's on my summer TBR. The next book I have is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I am so excited for this book. I don't know why I've been putting it off. Actually, I've been putting it off because it hasn't been on my TBRs for the month, and I've been trying to be really good about sticking to my monthly TBRs. So that's one of the main reasons why I haven't picked it up, but I am so excited for this one. I've heard so many great things about this. So many 5 stars from people who have read this. So I'm very excited. I hear that it gives Sleepless in Seattle vibes, and I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for a B.K. Borison book that is not a seasonal read. I know, like, I think the only other book I've read by B.K. Borison is Love Light Farms, and I absolutely loved it. But it's like the only book I've read. So I'm really excited to give just a regular romance a try by her. I'm really excited for this, and I'm hoping that this gives the perfect vibes because I just want a cutesy romance, and I think this is gonna deliver. The next book I have is The Haunting of Blackwood House by Darcy Coates. You guys already know I'm a Darcy Coates stan. I absolutely love her. So of course I have some of her books on my summer TBR. This one was actually on my TBR for either April or May, but I never got to it. So I just know that I'm gonna wanna read one of her books in the summertime, and I love a spooky haunted house. It's giving The Haunting in Connecticut vibes. Like, I know this is going to hit for me, so gonna be reading this one in the summer. The next book I have is The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. This is a book that a friend actually sent to me. I have no idea what this is about, and I've had it since she sent it to me like 2 years ago. So I need to read this. And I do think it's like a psychological thriller. Like I said, who doesn't want a twisty thriller in the summer? So this is on my summer TBR. The next book I have is The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is going to give like the Dead Romantics vibe by Ashley Poston. I'm thinking that this is what it's going to give. But one, this cover is so cute. It literally looks like cotton candy bubblegum. Like, it just looks so cute. And I saw a lot of people say that this was actually really good, so I'm really excited. And because it's called The Love of My Afterlife, I do think it has to do something about like falling in love with a ghost maybe or something. But I think this is going to be really good. If it's giving supernatural-esque vibes, I think it'll be really fun. The next book I have is The Unworthy by Augustina. I'm so sorry. I know I'm going to butcher it if I try to say it, so I'm not going to. But I read Tender is the Flesh by this author, and that one was a big mind play. And that one was really good and crazy. So I knew when this author was releasing this book this year, I really wanted to pick it up. This one's following, I think, a nun in a convent, and something about nuns. So creepy. So creepy. I'm sorry. Very creepy. And I don't know if it's because there's literally a movie called The Nun that's very spooky and gives off very creepy vibes, but I had to pick this one up. It's super short, so it's not going to take me very long to read it, but I'm hoping that this one is going to be very creepy and gives the spooky vibes I want during the summer. The next book I have is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I am so excited to get to this. I was very excited for its release, and I haven't been able to read it since it released, what was it, like 2 months ago? And I'm very sad about that because I this is like one of my most anticipated reads for this year, so I really can't wait to get to this. And obviously I had to add it to my summer TBR, because if it's on my summer TBR, it will get read, because it is not getting put on my monthly TBRs. I am so excited to finish this series because this friend group, their stories, everything about this world that Kennedy Ryan created has been so good. And Hendrix is probably my favorite out of the 3 friends, so I'm just so excited to read her story, and I just know that this is going to be such a great read. I'm so excited. The next book I have is another Darcy Coates, Gallows Hill. This is another, I think, haunted house, or it's a haunted house, but it's like the house is like on a winery or something like that. Either way, I love a spooky haunted house story. Darcy Coates, love her, so I just know that this is going to hit. And the last physical book on my summer TBR is Fragile Sanctuary. If you guys remember in my Visiting Chicago bookstore vlog, I picked up a book called Beautiful Exile, and I picked it up because my boyfriend was like, that cover's stunning, and I was like, I agree, and he was like, you need to get it, and I was like, I do. So I got it. And then when I came home and finally looked up the book, I realized it was the 4th book in the series. That was on me. I should have looked up the book before I bought it. But that's fine, because now we're here with the 1st book in the series, and I'm really excited to read it. It does say back here, gripping, emotional, utterly romantic, and it kept me guessing until the very end. Fragile Sanctuary is romantic suspense perfection. There's suspense in here, like spooky suspense? I don't know. But I'm very excited to get to this. I am, like, these covers are beautiful. So I'm very excited for this series. I can't wait to see what this is about, and I'm excited. Okay, now on to the new releases that have either come out this month and I just haven't had a chance to buy them yet, or maybe I'm not gonna buy them, but I'm just gonna read them on my Kindle or something. These are all the new releases that I don't have yet that are on my summer TBR. The first one is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I will say the only book I've actually read by Carly Fortune is Every Summer After, and I think this one is supposed to follow the brother from the first one. So I'm actually lucky in the sense that I read the first one, didn't read the second 2, but now I want to read this one because we're going to be following Charlie, and I've heard so many great things about this one, and it has made me so excited. It's giving very perfect summer vibes, and I cannot wait to read this one. I do have it already available for me on Libby. I haven't picked it up yet, but I do think that I might still want to buy the physical copy. But this one I'm so excited for. The next book I'm very excited for is It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. I love Annabelle Monaghan's summer romances. She knows how to write a summer romance, and I'm very excited. The only book I haven't read is Nora Goes Off Script, which I haven't found in a store, which is why I haven't bought it yet. I honestly should just get it on my Kindle. But honestly, I love her books. They give the perfect summer vibes, and I just know that I'm going to absolutely love this one, so I'm very excited. The next book I have is The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. I have read a different book by this author, so I did want to give her another try. As I mentioned earlier, I am a podcast true crime girly, and Ashley Flowers does host a podcast called Crime Junkie, which I listen to from time to time, so I definitely wanted to check out her second book to see how her writing has evolved since her first one, so this one is on my list. The next book we have is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I'm ready to go back to just a normal romance by her. I do have Deep End. It did not make my summer TBR, just because I'm not sure I want to read that one this summer. But Problematic Summer Romance sounds like it's going to be so good. I feel like her books have not been hitting as much as her first couple books. So I'm really excited for this one. I hope it hits in Ali Hazelwood true fashion. I'm very excited to get to this one. The next book I have is a highly anticipated one by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab is one of my favorite authors, and I'm so excited for this release. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I have heard so many great things about this one. I have seen people already reading it, and I'm very jealous, and I have nothing else to say. I'm just so excited for another V.E. Schwab book. I love her writing, so I just know this one's going to be really good. Next, I have With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I'm a little nervous about this one because a lot of people have not been loving this one, and it sounds so interesting. It's giving Agatha Christie vibes. Riley Sager books can be sometimes a hit or miss, but for the most part, I do love his books, so I'm really sad that this one isn't getting the hype that I thought it would, but I'm still really excited to get to it. I'm hoping it's not as bad as it seems. Next, we have King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. You guys already know that I just finished reading Razorblade Tears and I absolutely loved it, so I just need another book by this author, and when I found out that he's releasing another book, I just knew I had to pick it up, so I'm very excited. I don't know what this is about, but I literally just picked it up because I loved Razorblade Tears and I need another book by this author. Next, we have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. You guys already know Ashley Poston is one of my ride or die authors. I absolutely love her books and I'm very excited for this one. Ashley Poston is an all-buy author for me. If she releases it, I will buy it. So it's on my list. The next one I have is by another auto-buy author, Lisa Jewell. Don't Let Him In. Lisa Jewell releases it. I'm gonna buy it and I hope this one is going to hit. She just does twists so well and she's not afraid to write dark details, and I just love Lisa Jewell's writing, so I just know this is going to give the twisty thriller vibe I want for the summer. And the last book I have is Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. This is another just cutesy summer romance that I think is going to be a lot of fun. I have read a lot of other Lynn Painter books and they're all really good, so I just know that this one's going to do exactly what I wanted to do this summer. Give me a fast-paced romance that's going to make me laugh out loud, and who doesn't like a laugh out loud romance in the summer? I'm so excited. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. These are all the books that I plan to read during the summer. I hope I can get to them. I hope I can. It is a lot of books. It's a very ambitious summer TBR, but I have June, July, and August, and if you count September, I have a little bit of September too, but I have 3 good months to get through this list, so I do hope I'm able to do it, but I'm very excited. Let me know if any of these books are on your summer TBR as well, and let me know if any other books that are on your summer TBR that I didn't already mention. I would love to know what everyone wants to read this summer so I can add more books to my TBR. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it if you would like, comment, subscribe. My links are down below if you want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do post there as well, and I would love for you guys to follow me. But that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!